Hi there, Captains. Genesis here with another guide to Starfield. This time we're going over to the 5 CombaTech Catalogues and where to find them. There are 5 of these magazines in the set, and these grant a single cumulative bonus that slightly increases the range and accuracy of CombaTech weapons. And since curiosity got the better of me, since this magazine set doesn't include a percentage value, I did a little digging into the game's files to confirm this is a 5% bonus to range and accuracy of CombaTech weapons, for a maximum of 25% once all 5 of these magazines' perks are gained. CombaTech weapons include Beowulf, Big Bang, Drumbeat, Eon, Equinox, Grendel, Hard Target, Kodama, Shotty, Solstice, and Pacifier. Like most collectibles in the game, there are multiple flavors of places we're going to, and just so you know ahead of time, 2 to 3 of these places will be quest locked, depending on your skills. 1 will be a procedural point of interest, and the one we start with will have no prerequisites whatsoever. So let's go get those catalogs. The first of the CombaTech catalogs we go for is CombaTech Catalogue 03, and this magazine can be found in Hopetown, the capital, I suppose, of HopeTech ship manufacturing, on Polvo in the Valo system. And the Valo system does occupy the same space as the Nerion system, so if you select the Nerion system, pick the Valo system from there. The amount of storefronts here is pretty limited, so finding the best defense shouldn't be too challenging, and it is in fact a few paces away from the entrance to the HopeTech building. Also, is this an Oblivion reference? Anyway, once you wander inside the best defense, if you wander over to the shelves on the right side of the store, in between 2 ammo box laden shelves, sitting on this shelf should be CombaTech Catalogue 03. The second CombaTech catalog we're going for is CombaTech Catalogue 01. This one is located in the Sioka Syndicate hideout in Neon on Volii Alpha in the Volii system. The front for the Sioka Syndicate is Frankie's Grab and Go in Ebside, which is the area on the outer walkways of Neon. Now, if you don't have the skill for picking pockets, you can eventually get into this hideout once you hit the quest Guilty Parties for the Ryujin Industries. But if you are able to pickpocket, you can gain entry at any time by simply stealing the key from Francesca Moore, the store owner of Frankie's. Once you have the key, you can go into the back room and take the secret freezer door into the Sioka Syndicate hideout. After exiting the plastic curtains, you'll want to go towards the stairwell that's on the left side of the lobby, take those stairs up and follow the walkway into the dining area, then take your next right through the rest of this open room, then the next following right into the smaller hallway here. And here, within the first door on your left, should be the living quarters. And on the shelves directly ahead, next to the bunk bed, you should find CombaTech Catalogue 01 sitting on top. Conveniently, right next to the Sioka Syndicate keycard as well. And on your way out, be sure to check the lobby entrance for the Grunt magazine there if you didn't already pick it up. The third CombaTech catalog we go for is CombaTech Catalogue 02. This is found in the great big ship known as the UC Vigilance. The UC Vigilance starts out orbiting Phobos in the Sol system. There are different ways you end up here, the primary 2 being either arrested or working for the UC Vanguard and being told about the UC Vigilance and their need of help. But either way you end up here, this is the beginnings of the Crimson Fleet questline, starting with Deep Cover. And once you are aboard the Vigilance, just to the left when you enter the Operations Center is the Commander's office. And once you are allies, with air quotes, you can grab whatever you want in here, including the CombaTech catalog sitting on the cabinet. The fourth of these magazines we're after is CombaTech Catalogue 04, and this one is more time-locked than quest-locked because it requires the Barrett companion mission. So if you have Barrett on your team long enough, dialogue will pop up with him multiple times about the death of his former husband and the mystery behind that. Eventually, the breach of contract quest will trigger, and you and Barrett will head to Gagarin Landing on Gagarin in the Alpha Centauri system. And after you start gathering evidence, you will then be sent to a separate location on Gagarin called Hephaestus Mine H363. The structure outside consists of a large square landing pad and a yellow and green hexagonal hab connected to a couple of black habs. And after you've made it inside, you can go a little ways until you find a set of stairs, then head to the right to the lift that leads down into the abandoned mine. Once you have taken the elevator down and walk through the cargo lift area, some more storage, and then into an office area with a railing and overlook to the mines below, this silver table with a ridiculously bright light beaming down on it should also hold CombaTech Catalogue 04. Technically, this is evidence, right? The fifth of the CombaTech catalogs we're going for is CombaTech Catalogue 05. And this one is found in a procedural point of interest known as the Forgotten Mech Graveyard. Now, if you're trying to find this randomized location, know that it will spawn multiple times like a lot of procedural points of interest, and this one will be easier to spot either through scanning while you're on the ground or from the planet view, because it's using the quite uncommon circle with a skull icon that I believe only a couple of locations in the game use. Now, if you're looking for landmarks from a distance, this location is pretty large, but it's pretty much a mountain, and since the mech scrap piles are hard to see from a distance, on one side of this mountain will be a decent sized portal formation of rock that, aside from the circle with the skull icon, will probably be your other easiest way of spotting this location. Now, when you find the Forgotten Mech Graveyard, we are after the magazine after all, you should find the magazine near the top of the hill, in this small scrapper setup that is underneath a canopy with an industrial workbench nearby. Here on the table, next to the weapon case and ammo boxes, you should find CombaTech Catalogue 05. And just as a fun bonus, there is a cave entrance behind this spot too that has some more scrapped mech stuff inside, but it's about as interesting as most of the other caves in the game. So do what you will with that information. So now I'd like to hear from you. Was there a specific CombaTech catalog you came here for, or were you just going for all of them? And if you happen to be going for the other sets of magazines, I have the full intention of doing guides on all of them, and by this point I'm about halfway through. You can find links to those in the description, and the playlist here at the end card will just take you to all of my Starfield guides, including a New Game Plus quick start and some other fun stuff. If you found this useful, entertaining, or both, please do whatever you see fit to show that. Among the ways you can is by supporting on Patreon, like the downright awesome people you see on screen now, including Wasteland Legends, Sven, and Rose. Thank you so very much for watching. I am Kato Genesis, and I hope to see you among the stars.